From the studios of Foxboro Cable Access, located in the center of Foxborough, Massachusetts, you are watching Around Foxborough.
Welcome back to another episode of Around Foxborough. My name is Julie Love. I'm your host today. We have a very exciting guest who just started a local business right here in Foxborough, so let's welcome her. Hi, Jessica. Thank you so much for being around Foxborough today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited.
Great. So can you tell our audience your name and your business name and where it's located?
Sure. My name is Jessica Pushy. I own Charm Dental of Foxborough. It is a general dentistry practice in Foxborough, and we just opened in September, right around the corner on Wall Street, right next to the post office and Joe's Butcher.
So how can people find more about your dental?
So you can find us on Facebook, Charm Dental at Foxborough, and then you can also find us on Instagram, Charm Dental MA, and our website, charmdentalma.com. Yes.
Great. So how did you come up with the name Charm Dental?
A lot of people ask me that. I was just playing around with a lot of names. I wanted something that was different and unique and modern. I didn't want to have my last name in it, like Pushy & Co. or something like that. And I didn't want anything tooth related, but I wanted it to kind of give off what you can expect there. You know, it's going to be welcoming, it's going to be charming, it's going to be comforting, and so I think that's kind of what I found playing around with Canva and a lot of different names and thesauruses and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So are you from Foxborough?
I'm originally from Plymouth. I grew up there, but when I graduated dental school, me and my husband moved to Foxborough right after dental school, and we lived here for a couple years before buying a house in Mansfield.
And why did you decide to start your dental office not in Mansfield but Foxborough?
So I originally worked in Mansfield for 9 years, and I saw a lot of Foxborough patients, and I had a connection to Foxborough when I lived here. And I loved being part of the community. I left that job for a little bit, and then I missed being part of a community. I worked in Hopkinton for a year, and as much as I love doing dentistry, I missed that community aspect. So I wanted to open my own practice, so I looked in the surrounding areas, and this kind of space came about, and I was like, I remember living here, the town was great, the community was great, and this whole area has a lot of upcoming great small businesses, between Joe's and Sweetness and Honey and, you know, Station One and all the other great restaurants and things. I knew this was a great place for me to open up.
So I actually visited your office, and it's super cute.
Oh, thank you.
And how did you come up with this cute idea, welcoming, like home decor, interior design? It's super different and cute.
That's kind of what I wanted to go for. I didn't want it to feel like a dental office. I didn't want to, you know, have that like sterile or like, you know, you just knew you were walking into one. So I wanted to create this, you know, things that you see with your eyes, the things that you smell, what it looks like. So I worked with an interior designer for a little bit to kind of come up with a concept, but from there I created the color palette, and I just kind of went with it. A lot of Wayfair, a lot of Home Goods, a lot of Amazon, at home, a lot of trial and error. But yeah, I think I'm really happy with how it came out.
And I saw a bathroom wall. It's so cute.
That's my pride and joy.
Can you explain our audience who's never been to your dental office about your bathroom wall?
It's beautiful. Like if I could do dentistry in there, I would. It's this really beautiful white and gray marble floor, and then this really beautiful mauves and purple, almost like orchid pattern. Me and my mom spent probably a good 8 hours putting it up ourselves, and it's got a beautiful, you know, kind of rhinestone mirror in there, and it's really something special. I wanted to kind of wow you before you even got into the office, and I think it is. I think it has. Yeah.
So since you are a child, did you always wanted to become a dentist?
I did. I had really crooked teeth when I was little, to the point where I didn't want to smile, and so I got braces on, and I loved my orthodontist, I loved the team, I even loved my hygienist. It was just a really good experience. It made me feel really good. And I got my braces off right at freshman year in high school, and it kind of transformed me. I felt like a new person. I had a whole new confidence. I went from being this like kind of shy, embarrassed middle schooler to like a very confident high schooler, all because of like changing my smile. And right there I was kind of hooked. I went back and forth in high school, being between going to art school or going pre-dental. My art teacher was very upset. I went pre-dental, but my parents were very happy I went pre-dental. But yeah, so it kind of, it takes my passion for giving that confidence to people, but also has this artistic flair to it that I get to use every day.
Wow. So which school did you go to become a dentist?
Tufts in Boston.
How was that?
It was it was good. It was really, really hard, but I met some of like my best friends going there, and I think that helped make this hard experience something that I'll always remember. So it was a lot, and I loved living in Boston, and I thought I got a really good education. But I mean, every day you can ask any dentist, we're always trying to do better. So they really instilled learning, and I still enjoy going to a lot of CE, and I think that's from Tufts, kind of instilling that need to always be at the top of technology and learning. So I enjoyed it.
So what is a really true reason that you left the practice and then really wanted to engage in starting your own practice business? What was the motivation?
I started at that practice right when I graduated. I worked in a community health center for 2 years after dental school. So I was out in Worcester at a community health center, working with a lot of mass health patients, a lot of refugees. And then I met one of the owners of the office, and we really hit it off. And private practice was kind of where I felt myself going. But I was there for 9 years, and we grow, we change. We're not all the same people we were when we start. And so we just kind of, we went different ways with the way we wanted to treat our patients and the way I wanted to practice. And so I felt the need for change. And so I went to an amazing office in Hopkinton, and I really loved the way they practice. But I just, like I said, I was missing that community, aspect of being a dental practice owner. I enjoy going to games and seeing patients. I enjoy, telling people about the newest restaurant or things like that. And so that's what I wanted to, I could see myself doing for the rest of my life, is being in the community, treating those people that are my neighbors, my friends, my family.
So how about the community aspect? I know Alex from Joe's Butcher, they said you had open ceremony or ribbon cutting. How did it go? Who came?
So it was bigger than I could have imagined. So we had over 100 people throughout the night. It was put on by the Chamber of Commerce, the ribbon cutting. So there was a lot of local businesses, a lot of local government, my friends, my family. My sister even surprised me flying in from New Orleans, so that was awesome. And then I also had a lot of old teammates that I used to work with. So there was a lot of my coworkers from old practices came to support me, so that was really awesome. A lot of my specialists, like my endodontist, my pediatric dentist, and things, those people that I work with. So that was awesome to see show their support for me.
So what are you envisioning in terms of involving as a small business owner in Foxborough to engage other community partners, maybe nonprofit or school? Are you planning something to engage more with the community activities?
Yeah, I did. I reached out to the Downtown Collaborative, and they've told me about a couple of events, and I've worked with the Chamber of Commerce to do some events. So I did the Mansfield Family Fun Night, and that was great. And the Fall Vendor Fair, that was awesome to kind of meet a lot of the community there. I also partnered with a nonprofit called Soul Project. They're out of East Bridgewater. So they really focus on empowering women and girls to be the best version of themselves. And so at community events, you'll see a Venmo, and you can always make donations there. And we put on little crafts that people can do, and we ask for a small donation. It could be 50 cents, it could be $1 or $5, and that goes straight to Soul Project and their mission for whatever we're doing there. And then also eventually we're going to work on electric toothbrushes. We sell rose gold ones, and so a portion of those profits will go towards, right now you get a free electric toothbrush if you are a new patient, but once we start selling them, a portion of those profits will go towards the Soul Project and their mission.
How did you meet them?
So a neighbor had announced that they were doing a project where they were helping with an Easter egg event, and so I signed up for it, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. And so I dove deeper into it, and I was like, I wish I had this as a little girl. Just they have little workshops for those with special needs, and just trying to learn different skills when it comes to being the best version. And so it just kind of hit me. I was like, ooh, little Jessica really could have used this. And so that's where I reached out to them. I had a great conversation with the person who founded it, and so we've just kind of been putting their name out there ever since.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So have you gained a lot of clientele so far in Foxborough since you started in September? How's that going?
Yeah, I've had a lot of my previous patients come, which has been awesome, but then a lot of new patients who are like, I walked by you going to the post office, or I went to Joe's, or I'm there all the time, and so they've passed by, or I live right around the corner, I could walk to your office. So that's been really nice to see those kind of patients be like, I really taking on that, like, oh, this is a community aspect of it. They can walk to me, they can see me, they know my neighbors, they know me. So it's been really nice to see those patients come by.
So what is your specialty if you have one?
So I see patients from 0 to 100. So one of my favorite appointments is the first visit for kids. So, you know, the American Academy of Pediatric Dentists says, you know, either at 6 months or their first tooth. And so a lot of people are like, well, that doesn't seem like a very eventful appointment, but it's actually a lot of education and where you instill really good habits and where parents get their questions answered that they might not get at the pediatrician. So we talk a lot about diet and fluoride and oral hygiene and sleep. So I have a really a big proponent of airway and sleep focus. So we have an airway and sleep screening when you come see me. So there's a huge connection between how you sleep and breathe and how your oral health is, and so we are a huge proponent of that and just being a really preventative office when it comes to that.
How about like general adult?
Yep, so adults, so I do your regular bread and butter dentistry, so crowns, bridges, fillings. We do a lot of same day crowns, so no temporary or anything like that. So you come in for one visit for the crown. I also place implants, I do extractions, so I do a little bit of everything.
And cleaning?
And cleanings, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what kind of insurance can people use with you?
So we work with most of the major insurances, but we are in network with just a handful. But we do a complimentary benefits claim for you. So if you have a question about what your benefits will be or what they will cover, we're happy to do that. But we are in network with some. We are out of network with some as well.
So are you very happy about your new business in Foxborough?
I am. It's a lot of work. I'm there all the time. You'll see me on Saturdays and Sundays just getting stuff done. But I'm very proud, and I put a lot of sweat and tears into it, and it makes me really happy to see it come into what it is right now.
And your husband seems to be very supportive.
Yes, he's my handyman. So when I need something fixed or hung or something, he's been there to kind of take care of all of that for me. And he's home with the kids right now doing dinner and bedtime, so he's been very supportive.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So walk through some of the things that you've done in the past. I know you mentioned about Worcester, the community,
yeah.
And then you worked with refugee or maybe some of the not like so wealthy neighborhood or difficulties. Like, what did you observe?
So a lot of people in the community health center were very just thankful. Because they either hadn't been to a dentist for a while, or they didn't speak the language, so we had to bring in a translator. And a lot of times it was the first time they've been to a dentist, and they were in their 30s, 40s, 50s. So that was a whole different perspective that I didn't get, going to dental school. We did a little bit of an externship to community health centers, but this being the one to treat them and trying to take them through oral hygiene and what treatment was needed, but not being able to speak the language that they're speaking. You just have to be very creative and patient and just really understanding.
That sounds like challenging but rewarding work.
It was definitely a different transition into private practice. I came with a different perspective for sure, a lot of empathy, because no matter where you're from, you are very nervous about the dentist, or you're very apprehensive, or you don't have the best dental IQ, so you've got to be creative with how you connect with that person, because whether it's a language barrier, whether it's a time away barrier, or just an understanding, you got to be really creative and patient. So I really did learn a lot from working there.
So my kids are very scared of going to dentists.
Yeah.
How do you deal with kids who have so much anxiety of seeing a dentist?
For sure. So I think from walking in the door, right? Like you walked in, it doesn't really feel like a dental office, and we have this whole corner just especially for kids. There's toys, there's books, there's drawing, there's a lot of, we have magnet tiles and fidget spinners, and it's been shown that kids utilizing those kind of have a calming effect. So we hope that as soon as they walk in and they start using these toys and they start reading these books, they already start to kind of feel at ease. And just even the colors walking in is very calming. And then once we walk into the dental operatory, we have a lot of things to help. We have noise canceling headphones, we have Netflix, we have weighted blankets, we have weighted stuffed animals, stress balls. So we have all the things, whether you're a child with anxiety or an adult with anxiety, to hopefully tackle those and put you at ease, so that we can make it a little bit more relaxing for you. So
amazing. So now you just started in September. What is your short-term and maybe long-term goal coming into Foxborough and then starting your own practice? Do you have any like maybe certain numbers that you want to hit clientele-wise, or like anything that you are envisioning, or in 5 years I want to be at this point or something?
I think short term, I am hiring a dental assistant. So we are hiring our second dental assistant so that we can start seeing more patients. And so right now I have built out 6 operatories, but I only have 3 outfitted. So I want to start maximizing that. So that is my goal, is to hire another dental assistant so I can start taking on more patients, because right now we're booking out. So I want to be able to take on more patients, and so I want to be able to hire more staff, and then eventually in the next 3 to 4 months hire a hygienist, so then I can start seeing more people and focusing more on the restorative aspect versus the hygiene aspect of it. And I've created a list of different community events I want to do, so a mix of building the practice and building my community kind of involvement there as well.
Wonderful. So when I first walked into your office and then kind of went through your Instagram, you're really good at like making real and the social media appearance. Is that like intentional, and then is it helping your business?
I think it's definitely helping my business. I want people to know who they're walking into, who's going to be treating them. So if they can see a side of me that puts them at ease, and so there's no surprises, I think that's really helpful. And I like to be easygoing and fun, and I want that to get across in my social media. And so we're not stuffy, we're not uptight, we're going to be really open and upfront, and so I hope to get that across in my social media. And I think it's working. A lot of people say they find us on social media or Google, so I think it's working. And I enjoy Canva and being creative, so I think that's helpful that I enjoy that part of it as well.
Did you learn that marketing side of it at school, or like how did
No,
you
I'm just winging it. I follow a lot of other dental offices on Instagram, and so I get some ideas from there as well. Yeah, or I use my kids or my dog as content when I can't think of something, so that's helpful too.
I think it's so weird that, like, old days that we never had social media, word of mouth type of thing. But Sweetness and Honey, like TikTok, their accounts like so many views and then time lapse and stuff. So I think it's kind of the new ways to market yourself too.
Yeah, I think, and as a startup, I don't have that much cash flow, and so marketing companies are really expensive, and so social media is free. I can just use myself and my time, and or just boost a post for a small amount of money. So that's kind of where my focus was I need that cash flow to be somewhere else, and so social media is something that for right now is something affordable for me.
It's interesting that you are not only the dentist, but business owner, that you have to think about those aspects of marketing yourself and then gaining the clientele, hiring new people, but engaging in the community. So did you imagine yourself not just being a dentist, but business owner, like full-blown type of having your own office?
Yeah, so in the previous office that I was in, I was a partner, so there was some ownership to it, but it wasn't this many hats. It was like 1 or 2 hats. So I knew I was going to be a lot, but I had no idea. But I've just kind of taken it one step at a time. My team has been super helpful with me and patient, so I've enjoyed all the hats, and I've reached out to colleagues and other friends who have this experience to kind of get some help. So it wasn't just me learning on my own. I've had a lot of help through friends and other colleagues. My previous office that I worked at in Hopkinton, they've been a huge mentor to me as well. So I'm trying to use my resources as I have, but learn a lot on my own as well.
So I assume that you mentioned that you had kids, and then how are you managing with being a mom and a business owner?
I'm not. I do my best, but I'm really tired at the end of the day. Like I said, my husband's been really supportive. I fall back on my family members. My parents have been very helpful. Daycare, aftercare, my in-laws. So I have a village that's helping me for sure. Or some days I just bring the kids to the office and they either help me or they sit on their iPads or they read or do other activities. So we make it work for right now.
Why do you think it's important as a working mom to have that support and then being able to pursue, because you obviously spend a lot of time in studying,
right,
and then becoming this profession, but then becoming a mom is another aspect to it. Do you have any advice for maybe other entrepreneur, maybe business owner moms, and then somebody who want to continue their education and passion?
I think it really helps to have a passion. So if you're passionate about it, I want my kids to see that being a mom is really important, but also having this identity of your own. Like I am dentist, I am business owner, and that's a huge part of me that makes me also a great mom. I think if I was just a mom, I don't know how fulfilled, and some people are perfectly happy doing that, but I want my kids to see that they make me happy, but we can also find happiness and passion in doing something that we're really good at. And then just really leaning on your support system. I don't think I could do it without my support system, so I find myself very lucky. I know there's other business owners who don't, and they have to manage all of it, so I do find myself really lucky. So if you do have that village, totally lean on them and see if that helps for sure.
It was kind of interesting because just sharing with you and our audience, I owned nonprofit for 12 years, and then my son was born. And that time, I have to say, okay, please take care of the business. Please take care of this. And that was like the first time I felt like I had to let go of some of the things that I felt a control of.
Right.
So it's kind of like interesting transition, but I learned how to ask for help because of my children.
Right. And that's the thing, it's hard. I'm very type A and I like being in control of stuff. So having to kind of let go or give in, my house is definitely not put together because by the end of the day, you're just like, my kids are fed, they're happy, and my business is running, but you know what, laundry's gonna have to wait or those kind of things. So we've had to kind of make sacrifices in that part. So definitely, like you said, letting go and just kind of controlling what we can control and just knowing that at the end of the day, if my kids are happy, if I'm happy, then I think that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times as a working mom and a business owner in a profession, sometimes it's really hard to fulfill your happiness and then the balance. But I think it's important that you are happy first, put oxygen mask on you first, and then, take care of others. I think you find your own passion and happiness. And then clientele and then the community in Foxborough, I think are very supportive of you.
Yeah, I hope so. That's what I'm hoping anyways, yeah. My self-care looks a lot different these days.
Well, Jessica, thank you so much for coming to Around Foxborough. Before you leave, please repeat your website and social media and how people can contact you, and if you have any message to people, especially in Foxborough.
Yeah, of course. I just want to say thank you to everybody for welcoming me in and just making me feel at home. I can't wait to be part of the community and hopefully be here for a very long time. So you can find us at Charm Dental MA on Instagram, Charm Dental of Foxborough on Facebook, and charmdentalma.com on our website. And you can book right online your appointments as well. You don't even have to call us.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again for coming to Around Foxborough tonight.
All right, thank you so much for having me, Jerry.
Well, thank you to everyone watching Around Foxborough. Our website is fcatv.org. You can click on video on demand and find more Around Foxborough episodes. We have Paul Beck as a director today and Ryan Field as assistant. And my name is Julie Love. Our executive producer is Michael Weber. Thank you so much for your support and see you next time.